Thanks, Mike, and morning all. I should start by just explaining my odd title of Trading Director On-Premise. If you think of on-premise as everything that is outside of a supermarket or a convenience store, then I look after it in my business unit for Coca-Cola. So that would clearly include the public sector, but it might include pubs, bars, clubs, restaurants, travel, leisure, and a myriad of other things such as vending. So it's a broad church. And listening to the guys talk this morning, I was fascinated that many of the issues that they described are issues that we in the private sector face ourselves, whether they be about provenance, about buying British, whether they be about food safety. Many of the issues are exactly the same for us as they are for you guys in your industries. And I was trying to couch that in the question: can the private sector help you bridge some of the gaps in public sector spending? And really, I think it's about three things. I think we can if we continue to focus our agenda on lots of what has been talked about this morning, but balance it with also thinking about buying for profitability. So it is about buying British, it is about buying responsibly, but at the same time, you have to balance that with buying for profit. And that's not just about cost management, it's about category management as well, as Alison was talking about. And that's an interesting subject to investigate as we go through. But before I get into it, I just want to debunk a couple of myths about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Enterprises is a fantastic British business. Big business, big corporate world often gets a bad press. You've only got to think about the Kraft and Cadbury acquisition earlier in the year to know that we often get hit with a large stick. But our organisation is uniquely British. We're headquartered as a bottler for Coca-Cola here in the UK in Uxbridge. We are a big employer and we make a large and significant contribution to the economy. I'm going to stick a couple of charts up. Please, I don't understand the charts. I'm not into the devil in the detail of them. But there are a couple of numbers going to come up with my whizzy PowerPoint skills. Our contribution to the inland revenue as a business is nearly £1 billion a year. That's what we indirectly and directly contribute to Her Majesty's revenue and customers. Our added value to the UK economy is £3 billion a year. So we make a big contribution to our economy. But I wanted to try and take that out of an analyst's language and put it into my language. And I wanted to put it into an employment terms. Now, we employ 4,700 people directly here in the UK. We affect 63,000 jobs. So our impact on the economy is great, and we are British, we're headquartered here, and I wanted to make that point and get it across quite clearly. Now, we have a huge variety of products. If I said to you, think about Coca-Cola, what comes into your mind's eye is probably a red can or the bottle in the middle. But our product range is many and varied. It's designed to suit many different occasions and lifestyles. And that puts a responsibility on us to market it appropriately. So on the left-hand side, I don't expect you to read it, but that chart is all about our commitment to market our product responsibly. Now, we value parents, we value gatekeepers and guardians, and therefore we don't market our products to children under 12. We also comply with food standards. So GDAs and 2000 kcals, we comply. But we go beyond that with our packaging. So we communicate on our packaging what the product is. Diet, zero, low cal, etc. Right, can I just buy you water? Sorry. So we communicate it on our packaging, and we think that is an incredibly important thing to do. And we do it not because we're compelled to do it by people, by the government, or by NGOs, or by our customers. We do all of these things because we, like you, are consumers. Here, this chart talks about something called Commitment 2020. Now, Commitment 2020 is our corporate and social responsibility agenda within our business. And it talks to things like carbon reduction, water stewardship. It talks about having a diverse and inclusive culture, a portfolio of products to suit every occasion and to suit every lifestyle. And it's great that we're able to do this because we want to do it. But Commitment 2020 is sewn into the fabric of our organisation. It's cultural for us. It matters to us because we, like you, are consumers. So we're no different. Now, again, it's a complex chart. I don't want to get into the devil in the detail of the chart, but I've picked out one area just to focus on, which is recycling. So we think there are 3 real points of intervention for us as a business in something like recycling. So we have a job to do to educate consumers. We see that as a fundamental way to affect a change in our culture. So we do things like, if you're a music festival goer, and I'm not, but if you are a music festival goer, you may see recycling zones at the music festivals. There are 80 recycling zones that we've got around the country at the moment. But we also do things like swap your PET for swag, swag being recycled PET in the form of clothing. And that's helping to educate our audience about the importance of recycling. The second element is working with the government on a curbside recycling programme. It differs today in so many local authorities that it's tough to get continuity. So we're going to work with the government on getting one consistent approach to doing this. But if you really want to look at recycling holistically, you have to also look at the downstream elements. And I can't say today, but in a couple of weeks you will see a very, very significant investment that Coca-Cola Enterprises are making into the downstream recycling of PET. So my point is, it matters, and it matters a lot to us as a business, so we get involved. But it doesn't stop there for us. This is our campaign to get Britain more active. So you may see on the Abbey Well bottles, on the top of the cap, a free swim. If you take the cap to your local swimming pool, you get a free swim. That's just one element of a much wider campaign, which is now compelled by our participation in and sponsorship of London 2012. Now, that's really interesting because a lot of people think that London 2012 is about London in 2012. We think the Olympics is much more than that. And we need to take it to a much wider community within the UK through the Torch Relay. So we'll be taking an education programme and the whole Torch Relay out to get Britain active around the 2012 Olympic Games. So these things we think are important to do, and we really do enjoy doing them. And our customers value us for it. So these are just a number of customers who input into something called an Advantage Group Survey, which ranks suppliers and their ability to manage profitability, ability to manage growth, innovation, category management, etc. And we have been voted #1 by our suppliers in our categories for a number of years. And that puts a pressure on to remain #1, which means we have to consistently keep pushing the dial on all of the initiatives I've talked about earlier. But being voted #1 is fantastic, is a great accolade because it says that we can grow your business and we can grow your business responsibly.